Hey Melanin fam, it's your girl Shelby,
And I'm Erica.
and welcome to another episode of All Things Melanin TV. We're so glad you're back. Today we're gonna chat about protecting your peace and how do you do that. I feel like so many times when people are like, protect your peace, protect your peace, protect your peace. But like, I feel like sometimes we don't talk about like what that actually means
Yeah.
and how do we actually do that.
Yes.
And I think a big part of protecting your peace is setting boundaries.
Yes.
A boundary hates to see me coming.
Hates to see
Hates to see me coming. Because I feel like as I've grown through life and matured and gotten older and all these different things and factors in life, like I am really particular about protecting my peace. Because if I don't protect my peace, nobody else is gonna protect my peace.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all not gonna have me crashing out in life today because that's not cute.
Yeah.
So what's one boundary or boundary sprint that you've had to set recently, and how did it make you feel? Like, how do you feel like it impacted or helped you?
Recently, well, first I'll start off by saying what I've had to learn about peace in general is it sounds cute in our culture when we're like, I'm protecting my peace.
Right.
When really I want the peace that you have in the midst of everything going on.
Ooh,
like
child.
I feel like you could say you have peace at home, but when you get out in that 5 o'clock traffic, are you gonna yell at somebody? That means you
Right.
ain't got no peace. So being able to have peace in the midst of like my circumstances and what I feel like is causing chaos or whatever, that is true peace for me. And so for me, what I've said recently is that just me dealing with things on my own and in my personality, I don't really tell people. And so the opposite of that, I'll have people dump their stuff onto me, and me trying to be a good friend or sister or daughter, whatever, I try to be there and do for everyone and not really taking into account my own suffering. And so recently I just had to say, for example, I've always had my phone on do not disturb after a certain time. And what I'm learning too is that a boundary that I set is for me, not for that other person. So I can't be mad if my phone is on do not disturb and then next morning I have all these texts and calls. Well, that doesn't mean that they're going to stop texting and calling. It just means that I don't have to participate at that moment. If I don't have the mental capacity or emotional capacity, I don't have to respond or feel bad about not responding at that moment. So for me, I just realized what triggers my non-peace. And if I feel like whatever the issue is triggering that, then I won't engage. I won't respond. I won't even say, hey, can you stop texting me right now? I'm doing this and doing that. Like, I just don't have to engage. And that is okay to not have to always like respond to everything. Like, that's what's causing me to not have peace. So that's what I have implemented recently. And it's been a game changer for me because I used to feel bad if I felt like I wasn't there for everybody's stuff. And it's like, I have to be there for my own stuff.
Yeah.
So setting that boundary was for Erica, not y'all. So what would you say?
I think that's so good, friend. I think that, like, obviously I agree with everything you said. And I think for me, when I'm seeking peace, I'm just trying to seek like a calmness. To your point, friend, when you said like in the midst of a lot of things that have been going on, because in this season has dog walked me. They've been in dog walk me days. And so I think for me, having boundaries in place and listening to my mind, listening to my body, and like respecting what I need and what I want. Like you, friend, I really try sometimes to just show up and be there for everybody, but I can't be there for everybody if I'm not there for myself.
Right.
And so I think a lot of my boundaries that I've set up have really impacted me in a positive way to be the healthiest, happiest, and most present version of myself. For instance, similar to you, friend, I set up time boundaries for myself. So my phone automatically goes on do not disturb at a certain point of the day, depending on the week. My best friends, they are on my favorites list, but they know if they call me or text me, it better be a level 10 emergency. It better be juicy. Like, it better be so juicy. So my phone goes on do not disturb at a certain point of the night. And also, it stays on in the morning to a certain point. Also, my friends probably know this about me. Like, at a certain time, especially if it's during the work week, I'll just stop texting. Like, if it's during the week, like, I go to sleep like an old woman. Like, I'm not going to text you. That's a boundary for me because I need to wind. I have like this whole wind down routine. The second thing, during the work week, I do not get on social media before 9 a.m. And I do that on purpose because not by 9 a.m., I'm fully working. And so I have no desire to get on it until like, after work or during my lunch. But that's the boundary. And like I don't scroll first thing in the morning. The only reason that I get my phone in the morning is to turn my alarm off and to do my devotional. That has helped me a lot. And another boundary that I've set for myself is just listening to myself and my body. Like if I don't want to do something, like a lot of times depending on the person is like if somebody really close to me, I'll be like, hey, no, I can't do this because it's XYZ. But also a boundary that I've set is being like, no, I can't do this and leaving it at that. And one thing that I want to point out is that a boundary is not going to upset somebody that loves you and cares for you, right? A boundary is going to piss somebody off that is used to taking advantage of you in whatever way, whether it's small or large. And yeah,
That's really good. And I feel like what you said about social media, that's a big piece
yeah,
mess up your day type thing. Well, especially with so much going on.
right. And to that point, friend, another thing that I want to add is like, as somebody, one thing that I've learned is like I tend to doom scroll a lot, and I've been trying to decrease that.
Me too.
And so I've been really trying to put an additional boundary in about social media and guardrails because it's so easy to just go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I try to curate my feed to be also another boundary. Like if you follow somebody and they make you angry or upset or you're jealous or envious or you feel some type of way about them, unfollow them.
Yep.
Unfollow them. Like
Yes.
stop following and interacting with content that makes you feel some type of way or that you don't like because the algorithm wants you to stay on there.
Yep.
So if you show that you dislike it, they'll stop showing it to you. That's the first thing. Set a boundary with social media and trying to decrease your time. But it really is helpful and I can tell a difference in my mood. The second thing that I would say is there's a lot going on right now. And I'm one of those people that I want to be fully aware of what's going on. But there is such a thing, friend, as information overload. And so a boundary that I've set is finding reputable sources that I can go to and get like a highlight of 10 to 15 minutes of what's going on and then clocking out after that.
Yeah.
Because they want us to be really overwhelmed. They want us to have this fatigue. So setting boundaries with social media and then even with just news has really, really helped me and impacted me in a positive way. And I noticed when I let those boundaries lax, then I'm a moody ass chick. And that ain't cute. So those are additional boundaries that I've set that have really helped.
That's really good advice. I'm still struggling in some areas on that, but that's really good. So speaking of the boundaries, how do you actually decompress from like maybe a high stress work day? Like what are the things that you do after that stressful week or day?
Ciao. It depends on the day and it depends on what it is. If they really tick me off, I'm gonna go call my mom and we're gonna have a conversation about it. That's one of the things I would do. Sometimes I'll just have a conversation with my mom and decompress. Sometimes I'll journal because I found like just putting my thoughts on paper is really, really helpful for me. Sometimes I'll go for a walk.
Yep.
I'll just go for a walk and I'll walk around and, just get some sun, y'all. If y'all don't hear nothing else I say, make sure that you're getting sun every single day. Even if only for like 10 minutes. Go outside, let the sun hit you and go back inside. I'm getting sun sometimes, and I hate the job, but sometimes I will just let my sun back and go for a drive and blast whatever music I want. Sometimes it's ratchet, sometimes it's gospel, sometimes it's old school, but like that it really helps me just to decompress. And then sometimes all the time, I gotta talk to the Lord.
Yes.
I gotta talk to the Lord because the Lord already know I'm mad, so I just be going off. And then I feel like when I do that, like I get a sense of peace that like whatever the outcome is, God got my back. So those are ways that I decompress. Also, I forgot. Sometimes I take a nap. I be like, F this stuff. And I go get my stupid pillow and I take a nap and I wake up and I was right with the world. But that's just me. What about you, friend?
Recently what I feel like that helps a little bit is like setting the mood in my room.
Oh yeah.
So like I'll light my favorite candle. I'll actually take a really hot shower after the day, and that actually helps relax me a little bit. And then I'll dive in my bed, even though it's only like 7 o'clock. But I ain't got no kids, so no man, so I can do that. But it's like if I take a hot shower, I light my favorite candle, I put on a movie I've seen 1,000 times, and or a show I've seen so many times, and I just lay there and just I get so excited, like under those freshly washed sheets, and just be so comfortable in my space, and just to be able to just exist with myself. Like sometimes that really helps,
Yeah.
on a stressful day. But like you said, also journaling my thoughts or feelings out. Obviously prayer too, and then working out helps. Like I said this before in one of our episodes, I work out during my workday sometimes, and it really helps. But sometimes, like recently, I made sure that I just took time for myself. You always told me this. Make sure you do something for yourself today, friend. I'm like, you know what? You're right. I need to do something for myself today.
Yeah.
So just something simple like last weekend, I was able to just go and make sure that I'm being present with myself, because a lot of the times my mind is just going and going and going on what I need to do, what I need to do for somebody, what I need, like, and just being intentional about just, I didn't do anything but just go to like one of my favorite stores I like to buy little stuff from. And I just went there, I dressed cute, put my makeup on, laid my wig down, didn't just put a hat on. And then, just spent the day with myself. And that helped me. And that was in the middle of a work week. And that only happens if I really feel like I have the energy to do that. Other times I'm just existing with myself, setting the mood. And normally that helps. And then another thing too is I'll go and like get my favorite ice cream. You know what? Let me just,
it's the little things.
Get my Sonic Blast with M&Ms and just watch episodes of whatever it is. So, with that being said, have you ever had to walk away from something that looks good on paper but cost you too much emotionally?
Yes, I have. And I think for me, like the first thing that comes up for me are like romantic relationships. It is hard for me, and I imagine for other people, it is hard to walk away from something or someone that you have put your all into and that you feel like could potentially be your person, or you just really like and you care about. But one thing that I have learned is one thing that I always pray, and Erica knows this, I always ask God, I was like, God, if this person's for me, make it easy, make it plain, give me clarity. But
Bro.
if this person is not for me, make something so dramatic happen that I have to address it and I have to let it go. And you can ask Erica, the most dramatic things be happening
every time
that I have to let it go. Now, don't pray that prayer if you ain't ready, okay? Because
the Lord be working fast.
He works fast, okay? Faster than NASCAR. But to answer your questions, I have had to walk away, and I feel like also like sometimes like and in all of those situations, friend, like I didn't really have peace about it. Like it's just like I had so much disarray that was just going on around it, and I would. Have you ever just sometimes been like you tried and you tried and you tried and you tried, but it's not working?
Yeah,
it's like trying to put like a circle in a square peg, and so but I will say, anytime that I've had to walk away from a situation because it didn't give me peace and I had all this discourse in my life, I may have been sad for a season, but I have been blessed ever since. Like God is never going to take anything away from me that was never mine.
Yeah.
Because if it's mine, it's always going to be mine.
Period.
But if it wasn't, it was always going to leave. And so I just want to share with somebody that wherever you are in your life right now, if you don't have peace about a person, a place, or situation, pray about it. When you pray about it, be ready for the outcome, because the outcome may not be what you want.
Yeah.
But anytime that I've ever had to walk away from it, and I've been, like I said, extremely sad in that season, once I started the process to letting go, into healing my emotions, I've looked back and been like, girl, what was really going on?
Yeah.
What was you out here doing?
Right.
And so personally, I may have felt sad about it, but I've never regretted having to walk away from something or someone that did not serve me in my life.
Yes, I love that. And what I have learned, I'll give an example of like when I first started my interior design business, I was so eager to get clients that, I had other people reach out to me, and then it just never went all the way through. And then I remember I had this one Black couple reach out to me. They had this beautiful new build home, and I was so excited to like talk with them and have our consultation appointment. And like we said, everything looked great on paper. But when I realized if I were to go through and take that job, it would have been way too much on me,
Mhm.
stress wise.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I did not have peace about it throughout the whole process of just the beginning stages to figure out if they want to hire me. I just did not have peace at all. And I kept second guessing myself,
Right.
thinking that why are you second guessing or having so much chaos in your spirit about it if this
Mhm.
is like a great opportunity because it looked like that on paper. So
Right.
then I started praying about it, and I remember hearing this message literally the next morning that talked about peace and how your peace
Mm.
needs to be your indicator. And
Ooh,
so I was like,
that's good.
okay, I don't have any peace in this area. I'm not even gonna ask why. They had the money, they had the home, and I was like, I had to turn it down. And I was like, I feel really crazy turning this job down. And I actually, instead of I turned it down for myself, but I actually referred them to like one of my colleagues. And months later, I had talked with that colleague, and he was saying how horrible of an experience that he had,
Aw.
and how he ended up having to step away from the job, ending the contract. So basically, my instincts were right on that, but I felt like at the time I was like,
Right.
"This looks great on paper. Why do I not have peace about this?" And whole time it was God leading me that way. So I feel
Yeah.
like peace doesn't necessarily mean everything is calm around you.
Mhm.
But even when everything is in chaos, you could still have peace. You have to follow that, and that's the way to go, I feel like. So even
Yeah.
if and of course in relationships too, I mean we can do another episode on
Child.
that one. But that's what I would say. So the last thing is, what would be your takeaway?
Yeah, I think for me, when it comes to protecting your peace, trying to like maintain peace, have peace, all of those good things. One thing that I've learned is that like I have to be really in touch with myself, and I have to be really honest with myself. Like I can't sugarcoat things for myself, and I think that's
Yeah.
important because when I'm honest with myself and I'm in tune with myself, then I can trust my gut and my intuition. And I noticed that when I trust my gut and my intuition, with people, places, things, situations, or whatever is going on in life,
Hmm.
and I navigate in a way that is healthy and productive for myself, I
Hmm.
tend to have more peace. So I said, I like this. My takeaway for this episode is to trust your intuition and to do things that make you happy and bring you joy. And while you're doing that, make sure you're setting boundaries that um, help you live your best life. Yeah, that is for me a way that you can protect and have peace. What about you?
Yeah, along the same lines, and to make the best decision for yourself. Um, Coming from a person like me, I'm making decisions based off how other people would feel, and that's not
Right.
sustainable for
Mm-mm.
your peace. So protecting your peace could be making the best decision for you. Obviously, take it to the Lord, pray about it, and then also when you pray about something, ask for the peace not to worry about it. Because if it's something that you really, really want, but you don't have peace about it, and God takes it away or removes it,
Right.
pray for the peace not to worry about it afterwards. So that's would be my takeaway from it. But y'all protect your peace in the healthy way.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you for watching. Please make sure that you like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll see you right here next time on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.